Collins and Harper Audio present Big Deck Energy, The Life-Changing Wisdom of Tarot by Lori Dyan, read by Leslie Howard. A note before we begin. For access to readings, guidance, and rituals, don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. To my tarot deck, for everything. You come to the door tentatively, sometimes with a friend, but usually alone. The introductions are always slightly formal, maybe even a handshake, and accompanied by nervous laughter. Your gaze skitters around the room, taking in the unexpected normalcy of the space. Where's the crystal ball? What about a broom? Aside from a few candles and some artfully placed crystals, you'd never suspect what's about to happen. And that's kind of the point. I tell you that you're about to have a conversation with your soul, and that I'm the interpreter. We begin by shuffling the cards, and you cut the deck with your non-dominant hand, the better to access your intuition, before I lay out the cards in a circle, like a clock, with a card in each number position. This circle is the spread, and it sets the energetic framework for your reading. It's the starting point, the core of understanding, and the catalyst for change. It mirrors back to you where you are, where you could be going, and the work required to get there. As we go around the circle, it tells the story of you. Are you ready? Let's begin. Introduction. My name is Lori, and I'm a professional tarot card reader, known through my work as Tarot Lori. I've been doing it for 35 years using my original deck, and I work with clients around the world, from Alaska to Australia and Kenya to Kuwait, to inspire, empower, and enlighten them with tarot. I call my unique brand of tarot woo-woo without the cuckoo, because it gives a sense of my approach to reading cards. I obviously do this for a living and take it very seriously, but I'm not goofy about it. You won't find me in a tacky costume staring at you awkwardly as I make gimmicky predictions. And I'll never tell you to say goodbye to the dog or anything scary like that. But I may blow your mind with how randomly specific tarot cards can be. I've always been interested in metaphysical matters, aka woo-woo, but growing up in Calgary, Alberta in the 80s didn't offer much in the way of resources. There was only one store that sold card decks and crystals, along with bongs and rolling papers, and psychics were found through word of mouth. That's how I discovered Erica, a legit broom-toting, spell-casting, crystal ball-gazing witch. It felt like coming home. Erica did psychic readings using tarot, and her approach was relatable and reassuring. She never used tarot cards to scare people, but she didn't shy away from the heavy stuff either. Although her gravity-defying platinum beehive, goth makeup, and Stevie Nicks-inspired wardrobe could be intimidating, she was an absolute sweetheart who eventually became my tarot mentor. Fun fact, the spread that I discuss in Chapter 16 evolved from one she created. When I finally got my own deck, I had no clue what I was doing, and would give readings to friends. These consisted of my pulling a card and then checking the little guidebook that came with the deck, with notes crammed in the margins from my sessions with Erica. "It says this card means that," I'd mutter. "Does that make any sense to you?" We would stare at each other, me desperate for validation and my friend completely confused. The best thing that ever happened, aside from being mentored by a bona fide witch, was losing the instruction book in my early 20s. If I wanted to continue reading tarot cards, I was on my own. I had only vague recollections of tarot definitions and was forced to rely on my intuition. The internet wasn't invented yet, so no Googling for me. What initially felt terrifying, doing tarot without a net, ended up being incredible.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?